get into the really for real live. This is obviously a pre-recorded video where I can tell you a couple things and then we can get started. So honestly, what I'm doing is buying myself time to turn the camera on and make sure that everything sounds good. But while we do that, while we wait for myself, let's go ahead and comment below. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Maybe let's start with your name and where you're watching from. And then also I'd love to hear about maybe the latest project you're working on or your favorite software. So if you can post a link below, go ahead and post a link to your portfolio. We'd love to check it out and see what you're up to. And maybe even let us know what your favorite software is, or maybe your favorite subject. Do you like web design or print design or making t-shirts or logos or branding? I don't know. Go ahead and comment below and let us know. We'd love to check it out. And then also, if you'd love to see what I'm up to, you can check out my work at derrickmitchell.com. You can see some YouTube videos.
Hey, what's up, Dustin? Welcome to the stream.
/Derrick Mitchell. And then also live streaming at behance.net/Mitchell's Garage. So you can check me out there. And then did I say Instagram? I don't know if I said Instagram yet or not. Instagram.com/DMitchellDesign. So hopefully there's links and buttons and stuff here, right there. Anyway, all right, guys, we're about to dive into some really cool stuff. Feel free to comment in the thread, and I'd love to, again, see what you're up to, and I'll try and answer your questions as we get going, but let's go ahead and dive in. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more, check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. Actually, we do not have the studio downtown, but we just are getting another one here in a couple weeks. So I haven't had the studio downtown in a couple years. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more, check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. What's up, Cree? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. All right, guys, what's going on? So pumped to welcome you to tonight's stream, or this morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. We've got people from all over the world tuning in. Ton of fun. It's about, gosh, what time is it right now? It's about 4:19. That's why I'm so hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. All right, well, guys, ladies and gentlemen of the stream, we are going to have some fun tonight. We're going to play with Adobe Illustrator on the iPad. We are going to create a logo. And last weekend I went live, and it's on my Behance profile if you want to check it out. We had a 3-hour stream where I went live and showed you guys start to finish creating a logo. And the way that we did it was we used a random word generator. So we're going to do that again tonight, but we're going to jump into Illustrator on the iPad and see what we can do. What's up, guys, on Behance? Thanks for jumping in. Good to see you. What's up? All right. So to kick this off, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to this so you can see what we're doing. All right. So I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to look for a random number generator. Okay. And if you want to follow along in the comment, there's a Dropbox link in the comment below this video. So what you can do is you can open up this random business generator Excel spreadsheet, and we're going to use this to come up with an idea for a logo and build a brand tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun, and would love to have you guys follow along if you want, or just hang out and, troll me in the chat a little bit. Neil Brooks, what's going on? Neil's in the house. So glad you jumped in tonight. Neil, he runs our Facebook group. Helps us take care of that. He's also one of our Vault members. If you guys want to join the Vault, check it out at derrickmitchell.com/vault. Neil, thanks for jumping in tonight. I appreciate it. We're going to have some fun. So let's get started here. We got 22 rows. So we're going to change the max to 22 here on my random number generator. And let's see. We're going to round trip this. It's going to be fun. Let's see. Let's test some things out and show you guys some cool things. So we are going to start by jumping into, well, first let's generate a number. How about that? All right, so we got 7. Number 7 is modern. All right, so let's grab that. I'm going to jump into Illustrator on the desktop real quick. Let's make a new file. And I like to work on letter pieces of paper because I end up printing stuff a lot. And so I'll make this a landscape layout. We'll click Create. All right, so we're going to paste the word modern in there. Let's jump back into Chrome, our random number generator 13. All right, what do we got here? Landscape. All right. Modern, landscape, and drum roll, please. What's going to be the last one? Let's see. Number 3. All right, number 3. Collective. Modern landscape collective. This is going to be fun. My wife's hanging out over here off camera. Are you going to come join us tonight? Or are you just going to stare at me? Daisy we should bring Daisy over here and come say hi. All right. Modern landscape collective. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this. And I didn't practice this. Okay. Phew. Okay. So I'm going to save a cloud document right here. And let's just call this Modern Landscape Collective. All right. I'll throw it right in the cloud. Adobe Cloud. Sounds like a very posh landscaper. Yes, it does, Neil. Very posh indeed. I can't hear you. These are noise canceling headphones. You got to come jump on the mic. Come say hi to the people. They'd rather see you than me. What'd you say? Luxury, like high-end real estate, like grab a chair. Come on. You don't have to. It's fine. All right. Whatever. Okay. So let's get back to work here. We were saving this in Illustrator. It's still thinking about it. My computer, it's been one of those days today where I've had to restart the machine no less than 3 or 4 times right before I went live. Wasn't sure it was going to happen tonight. So hopefully if this doesn't work, we'll just jump right into Illustrator on the iPad and we'll try it that way. And hopefully life goes on here. This is not looking good. Okay, I'm gonna X out. Try it again. Maybe it saved it so fast it just confused itself. There we go. All right, we're gonna call this modern. What did we say? Landscape Collective. Landscape Collective. All right, guys. I want you to be thinking about some colors we can use, some ideas. What kind of fonts are we gonna use? I need your help. Modern Landscape Collective. We're gonna save it on the cloud. Boom. Save. All right, and I'm done with this. I could come back to be 100% honest with you. Illustrator on the iPad is so much fun because I love getting to use the Apple Pencil and just using my hands. But I'm also so used to using my keyboard that I really miss having the Shift Control Option Command, all these keys over here when I'm doing stuff, which you can actually pair your Bluetooth keyboard with your iPad and you could use it like this, but we're gonna get rid of this keyboard here in just a second and we're gonna go for it. So it's gonna be fun. Let's go ahead and close this desktop. I don't even need that file anymore. All right, I'm gonna minimize this. Neil thinks, are we just gonna, I think green is a must. We're just gonna go straight up, stereotypical. Cool. I love it. I love it, Neil. All right. So let's see, a little bit distracted here. This ought to do it. Boom. Okay. Hey, let's get rid of this keyboard. I don't know where to put it. Oh, we'll set it over here. Don't fall. Okay. Awesome. So, all right. So we're back on the iPad and, of course, let's see. Let's jump back into the main home screen. And in theory, this will sync. I also didn't practice this either because why would I? Why would I practice? Nope. That's not the one we want. Okay. Your work. There it is. Okay, so what I did, clicked over here on the tab on the side that said your work, and there it shows up. So I guess the whole point in me showing you this, I could have just jumped right into the iPad app. But I want to show you guys that you can start in one or the other and round trip. So that's the point. That's what makes it so cool is we can use both tools and leverage what they're good at to do this. All right. So, all right. Well, now. I want to go back to the desktop so bad because I have ideas. Yeah, we're going to do that for just 2 more seconds here before we jump back into this. I could do this on the iPad, but for the sake of this stream, not taking too much time, we're going to jump back in here for just a second. So what I like to do, you guys know this if you've been watching any of my logo design stuff, is I like to get some ideas. I'm going to jump right into Behance. It's my favorite place to get ideas, and we are going to search for green because it's a landscaping company, right? And the client said it has to have green, even though I pushed back and I was like, no, man, this has to be unique. We got to use like pinks and purples or something completely other than green. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're paying our bill, right? They're paying the check, paying whatever. I give up. You know what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and give the client exactly what they want. We're going to jump back into this document on the desktop, and we are going to, that didn't work like I wanted it to. All right, well, whatever. Okay, we are going to grab just a couple samples real fast here, and I'm not even going to worry about too much. Command Shift and the number 4. Click and drag. Hold down Control to copy to my clipboard. Jump back over here. Oh, I'm zoomed in. There we go. We're going to paste it. Okay, and I'm just grabbing a couple ideas just straight up for the color. I'm not trying to overthink it or do too much with this. Yeah, using the iPad is a learning curve for sure. Definitely worth it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of great things can come from it, I think. And the other thing that's cool about it is it's easy to get in a rut when you're designing. And so by forcing yourself to look at things a little differently, hopefully you can get some really cool results from that. All right. And all I'm doing right now, you guys, is just, this is how I like to think about color. I like to see it in play. There's a lot of great ways you can do different things to grab color, but this is kind of my comfortable place when I'm just looking for things, just trying to get some ideas. Okay. What was that? Oh, she texted me. Colors. All right. My wife is jumping in on the stream. Non-traditional Mediterranean. Oh my goodness. Okay. I want to bring this over. I don't know if I can bring over part of my chat. I don't want to. Well, no, I want to show them workflow, but I'm also trying to not. Whatever. Okay. So she used messages just to throw this over to me. Boom. Okay. Wow. Cool. All right. We've got. Oh, cool. Saving as you work. We're saving your cloud document to Adobe's cloud so that you can continue your work wherever Illustrator is installed. That is so cool. So cool. All right. All right. So I've got some colors here, some ideas. Thanks, Jenna, for sending that over. And let's keep going. What's up, Christine? Thanks for joining us over on Behance. All right. Cool. That's enough. That's enough. No more. No more. We're going to save it. I'm going to close it. I wonder. Wow. We're going to close it. We're just going to close it so things don't get weird. Close that. Don't forget, guys, if you're following along, I have an assets folder in the link below. You can click on it. All that's in there right now is this Excel spreadsheet. If you want to do the number generator thing and come up with your own business name for something random. All right, what are we doing? We're getting rid of this keyboard. Jump in here. Let's do this. All right, cool. Modern Landscape Collective. So let's see how quickly this updates here. See everything okay? So I went back. We'll jump back in again so it refreshes the document. Boom, look at that. So I know I could do this on the iPad. I'm just trying to decide. I'm going to practice that before we go live just to make sure it all works how I want to. Cool. All right. So let's from these images that we got, let's go ahead and pull together some color swatches for this thing. So let's go ahead and grab our rectangle tool. And don't forget, it's easy to forget, but down here in the bottom left, you can see the blue dot where my finger is pushing on the screen. I forget what they call that little guy, but basically it modifies this from being a, whatever shape I want it to be, rectangle, to forcing it to be a square. It doesn't have to be a square. I mean, I guess I could do my color swatches like this if I wanted to. Let's grab our eyedropper tool. Or actually, you know what I want to do? Thinking through everything here. Don't want to do it that way. All right. Oop, hitting the microphone. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and fill this thing. Is it going to work with the dot showing up? I'm not sure if it will. There we go. All right. It's been a long day, guys. I was adjusting the stroke. Sorry. We'll get there. We will get there. All right. So now I've got this singular color swatch here. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. This is so therapeutic. I love this. I love working on an iPad. Cool. All right. So there's one set of colors, and you'll notice that I did this a little different than usual. Usually I do the squares, but in this time I did more of a, almost like a Pantone swatch looking thing. So let's go ahead and what do we want to do with this stuff? Let's just keep making a few more color swatches here to work with. So there's one idea we can work with. And I'm also doing this exactly backwards. This is a poor example of my workflow because I rarely start with colors. I usually start in black and white because I want to make sure that the shape that I'm seeing is good and not just using color as a crutch to make the design look pretty. So the reason why I'm using color right now is because I feel like it and I can do whatever I want. And also it's fun. We're on an iPad. I don't know. I just went straight to color because, again, when you work with a different medium or on a different tool, it kind of breaks your thinking and those ruts you get into. So that's kind of how we got here today. So, all right. So I've got all of these selected here. I'm just going to duplicate the whole group and move it down next to this. Let's kind of get these colors going too. I need to. Sorry, I'm not used to using my mic hangs like this and my pencil keeps hitting the bottom. I'm not used to that. So I'm gonna have to rehang this differently. All right, let's go. So if you guys get a minute, for those of you watching, if it lets you post a link in the comments, post a link. Self-promotion is totally okay and welcome here. Let us know what you're working on. Would love to see what you guys are doing. So do that. While I colorize things. Talking is hard. That's cool. All right. Cool. All right. Let's see. Should I keep going? We'll do some from these that Jenna sent over. I need one of those. They make these gloves that only cover like these fingers when you're using an iPad for drawing. So you don't smudge it, she says. Yes, I don't smudge my ink. No, so I don't like keep swiping. Can you add one to my Amazon cart so I can check it out later? So I don't forget. People are asking questions. Oh yeah, hey, we got lots of questions. Let's jump into this real quick. Okay. Welcome. Okay. Where was the question at? Okay, Christine asks, over on Behance, I was thinking about getting a Wacom tablet to do work like this. Can an iPad do the same job? I've only had other tablets. Okay, so this is a great moment to switch over to full screen mode. All right. So, okay, trying to collect my thoughts on this. There's ways with Sidecar on the app on an iPad to screen share from your laptop over to the iPad and not use the apps. And the Apple Pencil kind of works. I think the sensitivity is still way better on a Wacom tablet. So if you're looking to do stuff that is very controlled and fine-tuned, I definitely still go with the Wacom tablet. And they've got a lot of different versions. Most of them have Bluetooth now. My old one that I have still has a USB cable, and I'm looking at getting a new one, mostly just because of the convenience. I don't like having cables on my desk. So Christine, I would probably still consider a Wacom tablet for you, depending on what you want to do with it. The iPad apps for Photoshop and Illustrator are so much fun, and they're amazing, especially considering what they can do on an iPad, but they still aren't a full version of the software. So, it just kind of depends on your end workflow and what you're trying to do. If you're going to get into some photography editing and photo editing, I still very much like the Wacom tablet. I think pretty soon things are going to become, I think the next generation of this will fill that gap. Okay. All right. Let's get back into this. Sorry, I'm not speaking very good here. I'm multitasking. Let's see. Let's get back to this. Did that answer your question? I don't know. Just, it depends on the work you're trying to do. All right. Let's look at some more of these comments here. All right. I was going to get an Android tablet and a drawing tablet, but if I had the iPad can do it all, then that makes more sense. Yeah. That's a tough one. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're actually trying to do? None of your equipment is Apple. Christine, if none of your equipment is Apple, I would probably do the Wacom tablet. Let's see, I have a question. I have the Adobe subscription. Can I use Illustrator on my iPad? Yes, you can, Andre. Illustrator on the iPad comes with your Adobe subscription. Actually, it depends. I don't know if it comes with everything. I've got the main Adobe CC. You know how you can subscribe to different levels, like photography only or like the Photoshop only versions. I don't know if you can get it with all of those, or if you have to have the main bundle. Christine, I like the photo editing. I'm just learning. Yeah, Christine, I'd recommend the Wacom tablet for you over the iPad if that's not the ecosystem you work in. Okay, cool. Let's jump back in. How about photo manipulation? It is work. Okay, not sure what you mean. Jumping back over to, we're already there. Okay. Boom. Okay. Andre, you have the main subscription, then yes, I would say you should be able to download Illustrator with no problem. All right, let's go ahead and get back to work. So what we've done so far, if you're just tuning in, what I did is I created a random word generator, and you can download it. If you're on Behance down here, scroll down. This Dropbox link will get you this file right now. That's all I have in there at the moment. And then we used a random word generator to pick a random number, right? So we picked one of the words, and now we're creating a fictitious company that is a landscaping company. So the landscaping title, or the company title name, is Modern Landscape Collective. We could get super hipster on this if we wanted to. So what we're doing right now, we just grabbed some colors. So I dropped in some images that I grabbed off Behance and threw in some swatches just to kind of get an idea of where we could go with this. And when it comes to my logo branding process, I typically do colors dead last. All right, but let's kind of get back into this flow here. Let's start playing with the text a little bit. So get a couple things set here. Sounds like sound advice. You're welcome, Christine. All right. Modern Landscape Collective. Okay, so another thing we can do here, and let me know, guys, that music was pretty loud for a minute. I apologize. Let me know if I need to turn that down more. I like to have an idea before I get crazy when I'm building a brand. So what I would do... All right, so I'm just going to make a list of ideas of things that I want to, what I want to play with here, just to kind of keep me focused as I design something. So we've got a landscape company, so we could go for the classic look. Okay. And yes, I could be writing on my iPad right now, but there's just still something about paper, right? Having paper, that feels good. So we could do a classic look. So like a nice serif, right? Classic look. We talked about doing something hipster. Okay, it's the collective after all. We could do modern because it's the Modern Landscape Collective. So modern could be a nice sans serif. What else could we do? Help me out, guys, in the chat. What do you think? Any other ideas before we start diving in? All right. Let's see. Let's jump back in here. All right. Let's start with the classic serif design. So whenever I start a logo, I always throw whatever text I'm going to be doing at the top. and then I duplicate it. So I always have that editable text to come back to, and I'll show you here in a minute why. I'll duplicate this and I'll pull it down. Can I make a logo using Photoshop? You can, and actually in one of my latest courses that I made called the Photoshop Bootcamp, I talk about that and I show you how. I don't recommend it. Photoshop is a bitmap or raster image software, so it's better for photos. Illustrator on an iPad or Illustrator on your desktop are better applications for logo design because it's vector art, so it scales up as big as you need it to, or can be as small and tiny as you need it to, and it remains perfect and crisp. So the other thing with that is the files are so much smaller in Illustrator. So yes, Photoshop can do logo 100%. I don't recommend it, but I do show you how. So check out that course, Photoshop Bootcamp. All right. So the first thing, and this is why I have my list too, because my kids come running into my office or going live, I get distracted easily. So having a list to know where I'm at is great. So we're going to do the classic serif font here. All right, so I've got this selected. Let's go ahead and jump in and let's change these settings over here. The text by default right now is Myriad Pro. We're going to jump in here. Let's see, what do I want to do? I don't think it'd be a logo design if I didn't use abolition for at least one of them. So even though this is not the look we're going for, I'm going to throw that in there because I just saw it. Throw it up here, duplicate it, pull it down, and I'm just trying to get ideas to come back to and flesh out. So this is some aggressive music. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. What am I thinking? So, and that's the other thing. I'm on an iPad, so it's really causing my brain to kind of shift because on a desktop, I would approach this a little bit differently. I'm coming down here to more fonts. Let's see. We've got browse by tags. So we've got clean. We've got all kinds of stuff. You guys can see it on the screen here. So what I did to get here, in case you missed it, I have my font selected. Over here in my settings or the properties, slide out. Tap on that, scroll down. Crap, I missed it. Oh, there we go, text. I clicked on the text. Okay, now we're into our fonts options. And down here, there's this more fonts. Very bottom, tap on that. All right, so we've got lots to choose from. Ooh, Creative Cloud mobile app. I'm not seeing what I'm looking for though. Something else I should point out too, which is actually really handy, is because I've got my text selected, it's showing it in preview here. Spelled out. So Modern Landscape Collective shows up here, which is nice. So I can quickly see if any of these fonts are going to be what I want. Then use U for one of these, duplicate it. And it's too early to start filtering, you guys. I don't know about you, but for me, if I try and make one perfect look, I get super hung up on it, and then I stall out. So what I do is I just throw stuff not literally, but I figuratively throw stuff against the wall to see what sticks. So I'm just throwing stuff down just to come back to. If it catches my eye even a little bit as I'm going through fonts, if it just catches my eye for anything, it might be a terrible font, but if it made me think of something, that's something that I'll do here when I'm looking for fonts. The other thing to point out is when you're designing a logo, the text is just part of it. You could do an icon. You could do so much more than just text. And so maybe you start with imagery. If this was a real client, here's the other deal. My kids, between dinner and bedtime coming up, this is going to be a super long stream tonight, but if this was a real client project, I would do a lot of discovery, and I'd be asking a lot of questions about what are they looking for, what kind of icons maybe represent their business. Maybe that's another thing we could do too. Let's jump back over here to the pencil. We could do Some icon ideas. So we could do a lawnmower. What else could we do? It's a lawn surface. Oh, it's a landscape surface. Okay, so we could do like a rake. We could do maybe a tree or trees. Any other ideas, guys? Help me out. Neil says the serif font paired with a handwritten font could work well. I agree. It could work well. All right. Tree or trees, a rake, a lawnmower. What else, guys? What else could we do? What's up, Ollie? Thanks for joining in. Great question. So go ahead and check out the replay, Ollie, to see how we got here. But yes, most of what I'm doing tonight will be on the iPad, kind of. We kind of started on the desktop, but most of it's going to be on the iPad. All right, so lawnmower, rake, trees. Come on, guys, help me out. I need some more icon ideas. I'm going to jump back over here. Nice. Okay, so I'm using my phone to stream music Bluetooth, and it automatically turned down my headphones because my headphone usage over the last 7 days, the volume has been turned down to protect my hearing. That's awesome. That's headphone safety. Like, it's not even letting me turn it up. What the heck? Maybe my music was just so terrible that it had to save me from myself. That is so funny. That must be the latest app update because I've never had that happen before. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. All right. And also why I write on paper. Distractions, guys. They come in from every angle. Sweet. So let's, flowers. Thanks, Anna. That's a great idea. Flowers. We're going to add flowers to the mix. All right. So I got to work faster. We got a lot of work to do. All right. So we've got some fonts. They're not at all what I set out to do. Classic serif. We never even got there. And I got distracted because I was trying to find on a desktop. We're just going to do that so I can show you how I would usually work. I'm still getting used to all of the tools inside of the Illustrator app. But let's jump back over here on my desktop. Let's switch back to here. We're going to open this up in Illustrator. Oh, I don't have my keyboard. I lost my keyboard. All right. So we're back here. Oh, so much more comfortable. I feel like I can move around a little bit. All right. So what I was going to do is jump over to the character window up here. And I was going to go to, I'm sorry, that is not the right one. There we go. We are in Illustrator, character. No, right here. Drop down where the font is. There we go. Find more fonts. And then filters. So you can filter based on the classification. And you might be able to do this on the iPad. I just never tried that till right now. So maybe you can do that. If you can't do it yet, I'm sure it's coming soon. But I was just looking for a clean serif font that maybe wasn't Times New Roman, you know, something a little unique. Let's see. Something with character. Adobe Teluga. All right, let's see what happens. That looks clean. That's nice. My wife loves me so much that back in the day when we were dating, she used to send me all of our messages in papyrus. Those of you who are typographers will get the joke. All right, let's see. Let's not linger here too long. Let's just pick something and get on with it. Okay, that might have some cool, I'm going to do this one. That might have some cool things we can do with it. So I clicked over here on the little cloud icon to download it. It went away. Which one was that? Anybody see that? There we go. No, it wasn't Birch. Which one was that? Shoot. Find more. I don't know where that font went. Oh well, dang it. Is that the one? Cool. All right. Boom. Got it. One more. Because that's not the look I wanted. Okay, so the other thing I'm looking at too is because these are cloud fonts, I will be able to sync this on my iPad, so that'll help a lot. Oh, perfect. Garamond Pro. That'll be... Caslon's a good one too. Boom. Okay. We'll save it. We'll close it. Get out of here. Cool. And then I'm going to come back home, open this back up again. All right. And you can see we've got some font issues here. So you'll notice those are pink for a second. And because it's from the Adobe Typekit, it synced automatically to my iPad and then updated those. Now, if you're working online or on your own desktop and you had a font that you wanted that wasn't syncing, there are ways to bring it in. But the other thing you can do is you can create outlines and bring them in as a shape. So let's see. So I'm not using my Stream Deck for, I didn't hook up any commands for my Stream Deck with Photoshop or Illustrator yet. I thought about it. Haven't done it yet though. All right. All right. Cool. Wow. Lots of stuff happening here. There we go. I got to adjust my scenes apparently. Cool. Let's get to work. I've said that like 10 times, but for reals, guys, let's get to work because it's just been playing the whole time. All right. So we've got some fonts to work with. We've got our classic serif. This one. So the look of this modern landscape collective, to me, it feels like grass clippings, or it just reminds me of like organic, I don't know, earth stuff. And it also reminds me of something like you could do like a stencil and like spray paint your, like the garbage cans that you would bring your grass clippings in, or like spray paint the side of your, not your truck, but like a lot of these guys who have landscaping companies have those big trailers they bring, right? You could put this on the side of the truck, all kinds of stuff. All right. So we've got a few fonts to look at. I would continue on this path forever, indefinitely. So let's move on. We've got some ideas. We talked about the lawnmower, a rake, a tree, some flowers. All right, let's see here. Which one do we want to work with? I'm not sure. I think Apple has completely just saved me from myself and totally killed the music. That's all right. Let's see. Modern Landscape Collective. I'm kind of feeling this right now. Let's just start here and see what happens. All right. It feels so naked without sound. I got to fix this. Sorry, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. That's so much better. Okay, cool. Let's see, what do I want to do with this? Something else I do too when I'm trying to warm up is I just tend to move things around a bunch. Doesn't really achieve anything, but I feel better about it. All right, I'm going to move this up here, duplicate it so I can come back to it if I need to, and remember what font I even used. And then I'm going to come down here to this little T icon on the side. Tap on it. I'm going to outline the text. So now what that just did is it turned this font into a shape. So now I can do anything I want with it. I can grab any one of these anchor points, or I can just hit it with the side of my fist and it's going to do that, which is why I need one of those little glove things. But until I get one, I just gotta be real careful. So now I can grab these anchor points and just kind of do whatever I want to it, which this is dumb, but the point is I can do it. It's a shape, right? So let's have some more fun with this. Okay, Modern Landscape Collective. This is just so basic. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't even remember how to ungroup all this on the iPad yet. Let's see. That one? Yeah. There we go. I'm going to regroup it. There we go. Oh, there's Miles saying hello. Miles is our standard poodle. Big black dog. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do with this guy? Man, I just don't even know. How are we doing in the chat? I got super focused for a second. All right. There we go. So what I did there, and my brain is still thinking, because I do have a Wacom tablet and I've been working on logos all week long. My brain was still trying to do this like I would on a desktop. So I had to pause for a minute. But basically, I just selected these nodes down here, right? So I could just extend this letter P a little bit. I'm just kind of goofing around. And this is part of the process. I mean, I could have pre-gamed this a little better and maybe had an exact idea of what I wanted to do. But a lot of times the ideas, sometimes they'll just come to you and you'll have a great idea and you'll just go for it. Other times you might have to work harder at it. And so for me, working hard at it is just, I could step back and work on a piece of paper and just kind of let my mind wander. Or in this case, push some pixels around and just kind of see what happens and not be too picky about it yet. Just kind of playing around. I don't know. I'm just playing around, not trying to. I will say that with a little more practice, I can tell I'm totally going to dig working on an iPad. It's just such a different feel. I mean, if you've got a Cintiq tablet, whatever, it's obviously, it's not like a new concept, but I don't know. It just feels fun. This is terrible. I'm just going to stop right now. We are just going to group this. There we go. And forget about it. We're just going to stash it up here and pretend like it never happened. Right? All right, guys. Hey, I don't see any links in the chat yet. I don't know if it's not letting you do it, but feel free to post your portfolios, guys. Say hello. Let us know what you're working on, what you guys are up to. What's up, Ryan Selvey? Thanks for joining in. So good to see you. Thanks for the support. How goes it? Guys, how goes it? Ryan wants to know how it's going. I would say fair to Midland. Today was a rough day. My computer decided to just like full on turn itself off a couple times. That sucked, but it's whatever. Right now we're making a logo for a fictitious company called the Modern Landscape Collective. So that's what we're doing, and we're getting all of our bad ideas out first. That's what we're doing. So, all right. So now what we got to do is, thanks again, Ryan, for jumping in, man. I saw you had a cool live stream. I was checking out your stuff, but it had already happened, so I couldn't jump in the chat and say hello. It was a replay. Modern Landscape Collective. Let's come back to some shapes. All right. Lawnmower. All right, well, let's see what we can do. Let's make a lawnmower. And this is where this might be terrible, but you know what? We're having fun. We are having fun. What kind of a lawnmower? Is this going to be like a push lawnmower? Or like one of those fancy, what are they called? Walker mowers? Let's look at that real quick. Ooh, swanky. All right. Let's, I don't know, which one speaks lawnmower to you guys the most? Let's just kind of, let's not overthink this here. Right click, I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to jump back into Illustrator on the desktop. I guess I could airdrop it to myself. Oh, good call. Christine asks, is it a landscape design or maintenance? Modern Landscape Collective. Such a great distinguishing question that I would have known had I done what we call discovery. So if you're going to be a logo designer and work with clients, you want to do what's called discovery. So you go through and you figure out exactly what they need, because that's a super great question. Modern Landscape Collective. Okay, guys, is this going to be a maintenance company that like does the lawn mowing, or is this a company that designs super high end? Oh, maybe they do like pool design, right? And all kinds of stuff for your landscaping. All right, well, while we think about that and ponder the meaning of life, I am going to find where my mouse went. There it is. Let's open this guy up. And I love round tripping between the mobile apps and the desktop apps. It makes it so much fun to be able to just bounce back and forth, and everything comes with it. Almost everything. It looks like this last version didn't save yet. So if I go back home, I come back to my work. All right, let's go out of here. Let's come back in. There it is. There, it's synced up. Cool. So now we're back on the desktop. Let's go ahead, and I was going to just paste that image in that I copied before. Christine had an amazing question. Is this even a lawn mowing company, or is this like a maintenance design? So what we're going to do real quick is we are going to trace this image. I'm going to come up here to image trace. It's in the options bar. If you've got the image selected, if you don't have the image selected, select the image, and then you'll see that option across the top here. I think it's also, yeah, under object down to image trace. Make. Boom. All right, so it's going to trace this out. And I'd like to point out that this is a terrible logo. There's so much detail here, but we're just having fun. We're just kind of playing around and just doing some things. There's my tracing result. Okay, so I can click on this little drop down tab window thing, and I can change my threshold to be less or more, which is going to drastically change how much detail comes through. And the threshold is just based on the color values. Let's see, how do I want to do this? That's close. That's close. Okay. So technically though, there's no nodes, there's no vector shapes to play with in this yet. So what we're going to do is click up here on the expand button. And by expanding this, now it's going to convert it to a shape. And then one more thing that I typically do, if I'm working inside of one document here that has all kinds of stuff, I will cut this, Command X to cut it. I'll make a new document. You'll see why here in just a second. And I'll just paste it right in. It doesn't really matter what the document size is or where it pastes. I don't even care. I'm just trying to get the vector shape and the vector data. So I'm going to get my direct selection tool and I'm going to click once. It doesn't matter if it's if you start with the white or the black. All I'm trying to do is remove all this to make it one color. And sometimes you'll get, if I move this away, you'll see there's like little pieces like this thing, like it gets weird, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to select either one of them and we're going to go to select same, fill and stroke. And then I'm going to cut it, Command X to cut it, which is going to leave behind all of the garbage. And depending on what you just traced, you might have a lot of garbage in there. And you just delete it, delete the whole thing. Command V to paste back what I started with here. Okay, Command A to highlight all of it because it's not all grouped together right now. So Command A to highlight it all, Command G to group it, or I could even go over to, let me think about this, Window, Pathfinder, and we could mash it all down into one shape, which depending on what you've got going on, you might get some weird results. Now we're going to take this and we're going to copy it, Command C, back over into our document here and paste it in there. All right, cool. I got a lawnmower. Save it, close it. We'll come back to this later. All right. All right. Christine was thinking of landscape design work. All right, so we're gonna just play with this for just a second. I'm gonna go back top left here, go back home, tap back on my document to bring it back in refreshed with that tracing that we did. So again, I'm just trying to get some ideas and just trying to figure things out. And again, as I scale this, it skews. So don't forget you've got that little modifier button down here. We're going to duplicate it. Oops. And let's see how my eraser tool works because we don't want somebody else's logo in this thing. Hey, works just like you'd want it to. That's cool. I love it when things work like they're supposed to. So we'll erase that. Simplify our shapes a little bit. So I would not, if I was doing this for reels and I wasn't having you guys waiting on me watching this live stream, and if I had more time and whatever, I would come at this a little bit differently. I'd trace it and make the shapes perfect, because let's say you want to put this on a vinyl decal or you want to do more with it. If we zoom in, there's just a lot going on here, and it turns into a difficult thing to reproduce depending, if you're going to put it on the side of a hat, a baseball hat, as the company, like this guy right here. Where are we at? Right there. You want to simplify the details as much as possible. So, plus I have to be careful because this is so much fun playing with Illustrator on an iPad that I could literally just goof around on this all day long and achieve nothing with my life. So there's that. Cool. All right. It's basic. We're going to call this a rough mock-up, rough comp, whatever. Now it looks like a wheelchair, but you know what? It is what it is. We are just going to get our terrible ideas out of the way first. Okay. We're going to stash this up here with the other terrible idea. This is digital art, right? If I wasn't streaming this, you guys don't have to see my mistakes. You don't have to see all the nonsense that I make before I get something that's worth looking at. But I love it. Hopefully that encourages you guys to to just make stuff. I don't like that, so we'll delete it. Okay. I said I wasn't coming back to this, and look, I totally am coming back to this. All right. So what do you think, guys? Have you tried Illustrator on the iPad yet? Are you going to try it? Oh, man. Okay, so this is also why I work in black and white, because then I can see the problems pretty quickly, right? As I start goofing around with things, I can see if it's going to work without using color as a crutch. All right. We'll call this the idea phase, where we're just throwing stuff around. It's a process. Thanks, Christine. It is a process. It's a process. And whenever you're doing a logo, give yourself time to let that process breathe. So I would never send anything to a client unless I had to the first time around. Like, even if I was like, dang, this is the coolest thing I have ever made. Oh my gosh, I'm amazing. I would still walk away from it for at least an hour, maybe a day. So don't promise anything the same day for a client. Give yourself like a 3-day buffer, at least. Because then while you're mowing your lawn, whatever you guys do for your free time these days, I guess there's snow outside, so that's a terrible example. But then you can wait for a good idea to come back and you'll be like, oh, this is totally what I have to do for this thing. It's going to be so cool. All right, get that out of the way. So Christine, we need an idea. Okay, if this company is not a maintenance company, if there's something else, if they're more like a landscape design, maybe flowers, trees. All right, let's get a tree logo. You know what I haven't tried? Let me try something real quick. I'm going to switch to this just in case it doesn't work like I want it to. All right. Hey, is there a way to pull in stock straight into the iPad? Anybody know? I'm looking for the stock photos. There's no, Ryan says there's no outside. I'm sorry, man. Are you still in New York right now? Weren't you visiting family? Did you come back? Oh, man. There's no outside. That's depressing. That's... Your refusal to explore my drag racing team is offensive and telling. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Hey Ryan, while you're here, something else. I can't get the comments from Behance to pull into my stream. Am I missing something? Is there a better way to do this? I'm using Ecamm and I can see comments from YouTube and from Facebook. So funny. Back in Brooklyn. Oh man. So I'm in Montana. It is about 12 degrees outside right now. There's snow on the ground. So there's basically no outside for us either, but we have about an acre, which is why we've been able to keep our sanity, which is awesome, but sorry for your loss. Okay, let's get back to work here. Let's dive back into this. What are we trying to do here? We want to go to this one. Cool. All right. We need some more things, some trees, some flowers, something. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to jump back into, let's see. It looks like I could go to libraries. Okay. That's how we're going to do it. So we're going to jump over into, there we go, here, and we're going to go to Adobe Stock, stock.adobe.com. And let's have some fun. And yes, I could be creating this from scratch, but I also want to show you guys some other ways to work. So let's jump into, let's search for tree. And I guess image is fine. I can filter it further. Oh my goodness, look at all these trees. Perfect. We could also do live tracing, kind of like what we do with the lawnmower, but let's just go ahead and look at this. Oh man, so many trees to look at. I was thinking something kind of like this guy right here. Ultimate tree pack. I feel like I have to have this. I have to have this in my life. Oh, bummer. Ryan says not available to current chat provider, but there's hope. There will be support in the coming months. Awesome. The other thing I noticed, Ryan, and maybe it was just me, it seems like the chat on Behance doesn't come back with the replay. It goes away, or maybe I just missed it. I don't know. I'm getting used to it. Yes, and very balmy. It's so hot here. I don't know. Man, 10 degrees is just, it's a lot. Okay, I need this. I need this tree pack in my life, but I'm just going to do a quick search just in case, maybe it's not exactly the one that I want. Ooh, that looks perfect. Perfect. All right, let's license this thing. So what we're going to do, I could download a preview. That'd be fun, but why not just license it? Boom, licensed. All right. I guess I could have worked with a comp, but whatever. And the next thing I want to show you, let's see. It's already been, I want to make a new library. This is not the best way to do it. I usually do it inside of Illustrator. Okay, so save the library. Oh, it's saved to another client. There we go. Let's not do that. Let's make a new library. Let's call this, what is this called? Modern Landscape Collective. All right. Boom. There. It moved it to the Modern Landscape Collective, which means, in theory, maybe, hopefully, we can do this. And, okay, so I'm on the iPad. I'm down here into the little photo icon. I'm going to come down to libraries. And it might need a minute to update, but we're going to see. We're going to see modern. Oh, there it is, guys. Modern Landscape Collective. And there is the image we just licensed. Can I just do this? No. Oh, it's got to download. Okay, it's downloading. Ryan is blowing up the chat. Oh my gosh. Oh man, you're hilarious. So apparently the chat goes away. It self-destructs on Behance. So you can say whatever you want and it goes away. Oh man. I love it. You guys are making my night. This is hilarious. Okay, let's go grab that image. Let's go to my libraries. Let's go find that Modern Landscape Collective and click on it again. Why can't it place the file, Ryan? Sorry, that was aggressive and loud in the microphone, and I apologize. Let's try it this way. Well, you know what? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump back in to the desktop. And we are going to go grab that file. That's not the one we want. Open that back up. Okay, and we wanted, okay, so over here in my libraries, I can come back out and I can find my Modern Landscape Collective, and I maybe can just drag and drop this right in. Boink. Okay, there it is. And it placed it as a placed image. I don't want that. I'm going to go to Edit Original. We'll click on that because I want the vectors, the pretty vectors. All right, we're going to grab this and see there's like extra stuff going on here. So I gotta be careful with the template or the images you download. Sometimes there's extra stuff here, but I'm gonna get my direct selection tool. Just select the corner and get rid of all that extra stuff. Highlight all this, copy it, throw it back into my document here. Boom, look at that. Oh my goodness. So huge and beautiful. All right. Cool. Now I'm just going to save it, close it. We're going to jump back over into the iPad. So Christine has no idea what's going on. And I think she's talking about the chat over on Behance. So Ryan, are you the moderator for Behance? I don't know exactly what your title is. The streaming advocate. I don't know. Super cool guy. You know, lots of things. And we're talking about on Behance, the stream that we're putting out today. There's just some little things that I'm learning as a new streamer how to do. And one of them is chat and bringing in everybody's chat and comments. And we're talking about the Behance platform and just some different ideas. And one of them is that after this live feed goes away, the chat goes away, Christine. So that's why he's throwing out things like, the earth is flat, which it is, right? All right, let's keep going. Okay, so clearly this, what time is it even? Okay, we got to wrap this up pretty soon. I'm going to get rid of these 2 dots. We were going to make a lawnmower, but I give up on that look. We're going to just dive right into the pretty artwork. And maybe we'll make a simplified version. Let's grab this text and let's duplicate it. Let's do some things, do some more things. I don't know if you guys have picked up on this yet or not, but I am not very experienced using the iPad app yet. I just haven't done it yet, and hopefully been able to see, like, it's pretty intuitive. I'm getting pretty fast at this pretty quick, or at least I think so. Maybe this is painful to watch. I don't know. Maybe the replay will be painful, but I'm having a blast. If you guys haven't tried this yet, definitely check it out. It's a ton of fun. It's true. Yeah, the comments don't go away. If I read them out loud, there's proof that it happened. Dang it. Oh. Ryan didn't say that. It was actually somebody else. I'm drilling all over myself. Nice. Guys, this is a blast. I'm having so much fun. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you're learning something. Hopefully, if anything else, it encourages you to give this a try if you have an iPad. I'm digging it. Yeah. All right. We're going to go back here to this type, outline the text. Let's go ahead and jump back into the properties and let's change this fill. And again, usually I don't screw around with color yet until, whoops. Oh, there we go. I don't mess around with color yet until I'm further down the road and have a design that looks more polished. But in this case, I don't know. We're just kind of playing with the tool. We're kind of getting used to it, exploring the features, and just having fun, having a good time. So much for getting good at this, huh? Wow. Okay. There we go. That's better. All right. Christine says, what if you split the tree and the roots? Oh, there you go. I like that. Okay. We'll do something like that. Just trying to get our sizing. I don't know, guys. Design is hard. Okay, let's align this. Okay, good. It's centered. We're going to group it, and we're just going to like throw it out, or not group it. Try that again. There we go. We'll duplicate it. So anytime I get just about any change I make, I throw a copy somewhere so I can always come back to it. Okay, so let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's break it apart. Let's click on this, and I'm going to duplicate it. And we'll just throw it down below. Grab this. I could mask it. I mean, I could do something. If I'm just like quickly mocking stuff up, I could even throw a white box over the top. So let's grab a box. Fill it with white. Boom. I mean, if you're just trying to see something like super quick, right? Change the order of the stack, throw it up on top. Okay, and I could mess around with some of this stuff later. The other approach is I could grab a rectangle, and then we're going to grab both pieces. And then over here on the side, we have our combined shapes tab. So this is cool. Why doesn't Illustrator on the desktop do this? So it shows you the result of what's happening. Yeah? Did you see all the comments from Ryan? Are you on Behance? This is my wife coming in. I thought maybe she was coming to pull the plug. All right, so we're going to minus the front. Whoa, shape builder with Apple Pencil or your finger. Scribble over or tap on selected paths to delete and merge them. That's cool. I don't understand it. I got to... Nope, that's not what they meant. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, did you guys hear Georgia down there screaming? Okay, we'll circle back to that. Big circle back. All right, cool. Checking the comments. Oh, Ryan on YouTube has a bunch of question marks. That's because there's a Ryan over on Behance that we're talking about. So, what's up? Is it Imad? What's up, man? Thanks for joining. Okay, let's jump back into what the heck we were doing here. All right, there's a look. Grab all of it, group it, throw it somewhere. What else do you guys want to do with this? I'd like to point out that obviously we're not done yet. Like, we're still just trying to get ideas. We're just still trying to like figure something out. Yeah. And I'm having so much fun with the iPad. I'm really not thinking too much about what I'm actually making, which is, thanks. I appreciate the love over there. Nice design. Cool. Okay. So let's, now what should we do? We've got a tree. We got some roots. We could play with the roots. We could duplicate this. Maybe throw a circle. Okay, let's go hipster on this maybe. Break it apart. Grab a circle. Click and drag and stuff. Can I? Oh, how do I? Okay, that's cool. So depending on where you... like, see me scrubbing my thumb down on the bottom left, it changes where the circle draws from, whether it's from the center or from the side. Super cool. But what I really am missing right now is my space bar, so I can move this. I want to move. Come on, man. I want to move that right over my tree as I draw it, but I can't. So whatever. We got our fill. Let's swap our fill and our stroke. See where this is going, right? All right. All right, that's passable. I feel like the circle around it did it for me. I don't know. that has a chance, I feel like, it being something. The Modern Landscape Collective. I could work with that. I think I could roll with that. Okay, let's take it one step further. This is a logo after all. I feel like we need to simplify it a little bit. So we need to maybe just grab one of these leaves or what do you call it? A bunch of leaves? A bundle of leaves? What's a group of leaves called? Oh, cool. Okay, so over on Behance, Ryan says that, so this hot button apparently is what we call it. So this little guy right here. So we've got the inner circle and the outer circle, which the way it's working for me is I just tap in the middle and then slide to the outside and it changes to the second button. So it looks like we can set this to whatever we want. One thing I noticed in the settings up here last time I was doing this, so come up here in the little gear icon, come down to app settings, and typically I would work with the dark. So the color theme right now it's set to lightest. And I set it that way because of the lights and cameras and stuff. It was the least reflective, but I like working on the dark theme. That's my favorite. Oh, but you can see we got overhead lights and all kinds of stuff going on. Oh, that feels so much better on my eyeballs. Anyway, lightest. Okay, let's see. So that is called, so probably input, Apple Pencil, palm rejection. Yeah, we turn that on. Am I missing this, Ryan? Okay. He doesn't know if this is professionally called the hot button, but it is now. It's officially the hot button. Austin Webb, thanks for joining. All right, so I don't see a way to set that. Am I missing something? We're talking about this little circle down here when you're on Illustrator and the iPad, making it do different things. And I got real hopeful that I could like set it to do custom things, but I'm not seeing that option. It's probably there. I don't know. Okay, so here is our Modern Landscape Collective logo. Not bad. Not bad. All right, we were going to play around with some leaves, do some stuff, have some fun with it, and then we're going to quickly bounce into it and make it a, ooh, that's what we should do. Let's make it a shirt real quick, guys. Let's call this good enough. Let's just roll right into making something cool with this. So the point is to show you round tripping, coming from an iPad to a desktop and back and forth, all kinds of fun stuff. So what we're going to do now, let's take this design. I'm going to hit the little back button on the top left here on my iPad, which is going to send this back to the home screen, which I have discovered pretty much forces it to save it to the cloud when I do that. So by doing that, when I jump back into Illustrator on my desktop, let's switch screens real quick. So when I do that, I can open up this cloud document again. Look at that right there, back on the desktop. We're going to move you for a minute. All right, back to my screen here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this and throw it into a mock-up real quick in Photoshop. So let's grab, oh crap, where did I don't remember where I saved that. So we're going to come back into Adobe Stock. And I downloaded a sweatshirt. I guess I just go my recently licensed assets. So there's tons of great, if you guys are doing any apparel design, tons of great apparel design mock-ups here in Adobe Stock. Lots and lots and lots of options. Let's just grab one real quick. By real quick, I mean like let's look at every single one of them before we make a choice. That's cool. That's cool. All right, let me see. Let me grab. I literally just worked on this. Where did I put it? Hold on. 2 seconds. 2 seconds while I grab something from the top secret vault file from designs that aren't allowed to be seen yet. While I fix something real quick. All right. I didn't realize the vault was like locked down so far. Okay. Oh, I can't show that yet either. Dang it. Okay. was trying to show some things, but I'm still working on it, and it's not allowed to be shown yet, but it's where I have the latest version of something I'm working on real quick. So I just got to grab it. So much for slapping the logo in real quick, huh? Sorry. 2 seconds. It's almost done. It's loading. All right. Okay, cool. Let's come back and play a little bit after I close this and don't save that, and close this and don't save that. Cool. All right, so boom. Okay. Got a nice green hoodie. This will work great with our brand. Almost. There we go. All right, cool. Boom. Let's jump back into Illustrator real quick. Highlight all of this stuff. Copy it. Jump over into Photoshop. Paste it in there. We'll throw it in as a smart object. We can see right away we've got some work to do because this does not show up super great because it's a green sweatshirt. Yeah, Christine says she struggles with Illustrator, and Photoshop is so much easier. I feel like it doesn't matter what I'm using because I switch back and forth so much that I forget which program has which shortcuts and then whatever. But I definitely say that if I got stuck on an island, I would bring Photoshop with me. It's the one thing I would like bring. Okay, so we can scale this up, and you can see there's this. Okay, this is a great way to test a logo and see, okay, do I really like how this looks? How big does this have to get to even look like it fits right? So I would need to do some masking on this, but I'm going to double click on this layer. And then on the layer styles panel, this layer, it's got this underlying layer, which is going to be my sweatshirt. If I scrub this back and scrub, oh, did you guys hear that? George is screaming. Did you guys hear that? That's my 1-year-old. I'm going to hit Option to split this. And so basically without having to do any masking, out of control, you can see how I can get the textures to pop through in the sweatshirt or hoodie, zippy, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. So that's kind of a quick hack if you're just trying to like quickly slap something on there and just see how it looks and what it looks like. Obviously the zipper, that doesn't work so good. I could bring it down here and whatever. To push this further, I would add a mask down here. Hit the letter B to get my brush tool. Painting with black on the mask layer, I could go in and I could basically paint away or mask out parts of the image where this doesn't make sense, right? It wouldn't go across here per se. Let's go like that. Okay. And I'm just kind of screwing around. We're just kind of testing what this looks like on apparel. So there's a logo on apparel. I could also come back in here and I could highlight all of it. So when I was in Photoshop, I did a color overlay effect. I went down here to the effects and added a white color overlay. If I turn that off, the logo goes back to color. If I jump back into Illustrator, I could just quickly sample with everything selected, turn the whole thing white, and then just throw it in Photoshop that way as well. Lots of ways to do the work. And by doing that, you can see that we have some issues I need to clean up because I filled the circle with white as well too. So bad example. Let's go back. Okay. I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like we went through, we learned how to use Illustrator on an iPad and how to round trip between your desktop and the iPad. We made something kind of cool. Bought some stock art, synced it with libraries, brought it into Photoshop, slapped it on a sweatshirt. Lots of cool things you can do with this. Tons and tons and tons of fun. The options are just about limitless. I'm going to check the chat real quick. I know it's hard. So I don't know if some of you remember back in the day when Flash was actually Macromedia Flash, not Adobe. I feel like some of the shortcuts were grandfathered in from other applications as it grew, Christine. But what's cool though is you can set your system preferences and your keystrokes to be whatever you want. And I highly recommend doing that. I do that all the time. In fact, I need to reset one of my shortcuts. So let's just take a look at how to do that real quick. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump over here to Photoshop, and we're going to go down to Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts. So you can make either app be whatever you want it to be. And in this case, what I want to do, if I come up here to Layer, I'm looking for rename layers and I can't remember it right here. So it's grayed out because I've got the windows open, but under layer, I've got rename layer. And right now, if I look over to the right, there's no keyboard shortcut set to that. And I use that all of the time to try and, okay, so right now lens correction is Command Shift R. And that's the one that I used to do, Command Shift in my brain, R for renaming layer, right? So I want to be, instead of having to come over here and double click on this thing to rename a layer, I want to be able to hit Command Shift R. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to Edit, down to Keyboard Shortcuts. And we remember it was under the Layer tab. So we're going to come over here into our Keyboard Shortcuts. We're going to find the Layer tab here. And we're going to come down to Rename Layer. I might have passed it. Layer, rename layer right there. Okay. So when I click on this right here, it gives me the option to record, what I want my keyboard shortcut to be. So I'm gonna hit Command, Shift, and R, and it's gonna say, hey, that already is in use and will be removed from the lens correction filter. Georgia, you're killing me over there. But I accept. And I go to the conflict. So now it shows me the lens correction now doesn't have a shortcut, but I don't use that very much, at least not the shortcut. So I don't care. So I'm just going to say, okay, I could even reset my Photoshop default shortcuts, or I could save this. Let's go ahead and just click OK. Boom. So now in Photoshop, Command Shift R, and it automatically sets up my rename layer. So I use it all the time. So if I'm working and doing stuff, I'm trying to keep my files organized, Command Shift R, and then I'd be like, hoodie, and hit return. And then I could hit Alt up or down, or I'm sorry, Option, and then the letters next to the left and right brackets next to the letter P to cycle which layer is selected. So I can really quickly move through stuff. I can cycle to the top, hit Command Shift R, name it, whatever, logo, Option, left bracket, Command Shift R, name it. So yeah, that's how I work, guys. That's all I got for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was a ton of fun. I loved getting to hang out with you guys tonight. Ryan, you're out of control. I'm so glad you popped in to say hello. I will be streaming regularly now, you guys. I don't have my current stream schedule in front of me. I don't remember what it is, but we did send out an email. If you want to join my email list, would love to have you join. You can check it out if you go to my website at derrickmitchell.com. Let me just pull this down. I typically send out an email before I go live, and then I'm going to be sending out an updated live schedule. So go to derrickmitchell.com and then just scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see the join my newsletter. That's the best way to keep in touch with me, or at least for me to keep in touch with you, I guess, and send you stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I had a blast. Thank you so much for everything, for hanging out. I don't want to end it yet because your guys' chat's just out of control. Is Georgia a child or a pet? Can't you hear her screaming in the background? It's my daughter. She's 1. Yeah, I need some moderator. Jenna, we need a moderator in the chat. So much fun. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I don't want to end it because this is a blast, but I'm going to go eat some food, put my kids to bed, and I will see you guys soonish. Thanks so much. All All right, guys, thanks for watching today. Hope you learned a lot of valuable information, and I appreciate you sticking around to the very end. But before you go, just a couple things I want to remind you. The first is, if you haven't already, feel free to like this video if you can, depending on where you're watching from. Give it a thumbs up, or subscribe, or tap the bell, or give it a follow if you can. And also maybe even just copy the link up in the browser and share it with a friend, or post it to your Facebook page. I'd really appreciate that. But again, just want to say thanks for sticking around, and I'd love to continue going live as much as possible and helping you guys out. So the best way that I can help you is by you commenting on the videos below. I read those comments. I engage with them as soon as I can, if I can, when I see them. So if it's live, I'll try and answer you right away. If this is a replay, you can still comment on the video, and I go back and I read those. So I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and let me know what you're working on. I'd love to help you out, and hopefully we will see you in the next live. And to be sure you don't miss it, like this video and subscribe and follow and do the things. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.